Good morning. How you doing? Good. Oh, I have buses waiting to take people back to their schools if they're good. How you doing? Everybody isn't great. Everyone isn't great. So if you're on the line getting something to put in your stomach, you could continue doing that. I just need you listening up. Everyone else who's seated, how are you doing? Well, let me tell you, this is a very important day in our city. A very important day. The first superintendent, there have only been 21 of us. I'm number 21. The first superintendent was born and raised in Newark. Now, that was a long time ago. But the good news behind the story is that, you could go ahead. You're good? Okay. The good news behind the story is that all of the other superintendents, of which there weren't that many, who were also born in Newark, always did and left the school district better than when they received it. So that's good news. Actually, that's really historically some great news, because that means that if I follow what history has shown us, then I'm going to leave this school district better than what I received it. So I'm excited about that. Because as some of you who I have not met know at this point in time, is that I actually, like many of you, was actually born in the city of Newark, lived in the South Ward, where I was born. Actually, the hospital that I was born is just down the street at St. Michael's Hospital. And I graduated from Hawkins Street School, which is in the Hawkins Street School area of our city. Lived across the street from Hyatt Court Projects, of where I still live in the same apartment building since I was 8 years old. Maybe like some of you, maybe not, but I was raised by my mom, and she was a single mom, and my 3 older sisters. So I'm the baby of the group. And we didn't have it easy at all. Because my parents divorced when I was very, very little, and my mother was in this country, and she did not speak English. The one way that we were able to survive was actually being on welfare. And back then, my mom actually was able to do it with a $350 welfare check every month. And she is my hero. I give her a kiss every morning before I leave home. For those of you who are Spanish, you would understand this a little bit better than other people, but I always get un vasito de café por la mañana para que me despierte bien. So always a little black cup of coffee to start my day. And this morning it's interesting because she knew that I was calling all of you to this meeting, this very important meeting called a conference. And, you know, she did what she normally does, which is, you know, she wished me a good day. And she's like, and I know that this is a special day. It is a special day because this is, of everything that is important to our organization, that you and your role in it is extremely important. My teachers at Hawkins Street School and then Science High School provided for me an awesome education. Now, my teachers weren't perfect, but I have to tell you, if they weren't perfect, they were the next best thing to perfect. From my 2 kindergarten teachers, through all of my top advanced placement teachers in high school. They let me know that I was extremely important. And they let me know and my mom especially, was that I was so important that I had to make sure that I helped as many people as I could. So in this room this morning and all throughout today, there are students that I have either met since September or have met because there are students that are on my superintendent's council of students. The group that are seniors are, in fact, those groups of students that are in that council first. Because seniors everyone has to understand that a senior, a 12th grader in our schools, is the highest grade, and we must give them always respect. Then we have juniors, and then sophomores, and then freshmen in the high schools. Then we have 8th graders, 7th graders, and 6th graders. All of those grades I have called to this conference. You are a cross-representation of what is the very, very best in our schools. All of you. This is not about representing yourselves. This is not about just representing your families, because every time that you do something, you are referencing your family. This is not even talking about your grade today. That's not what this is about. This isn't even, although you're seated by schools, this has nothing to do with your schools. Absolutely nothing to do with your schools. So that has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with your families, your class, your grade, or your school. It has nothing to do with any of that. And it has everything to do with what's on my hat. This is the only city that I know, although I visited many across this world. This is the only city that I love. And this city needs a lot to be the type of city that I know it can be. And I have to apologize to you, because people who are as old as I am have not done a very good job for you. We have not. Some of those people are in schools. Some of those people are in government. And yes, some of those people are in your houses. And adults have missed their responsibility. So as me being the superintendent and knowing that I was a kid from this city, we have never in the history of this school district of over 163 years called all of our very best together. We've never done that. There are people all around Newark that are probably shivering because I've called for all of the very, very best. And guess what? I didn't call a room of principals, although I have principals here. I did not call my executive staff, although I have my executive staff here. I did what I know best, and that is if I want to make this city better, that I know it has to occur in our schools, and that it's going to take class by class to do it, and it's going to take families to help us out. But ultimately, in the end, it's going to take each one of you to understand what is your role in making this city better. No matter what yesterday brought for you, no matter how messed up this morning was for you, every single one of you, even the ones hiding behind this balloon, right there, all of you. Dr. Zhao from the University of Michigan did a presentation in 2008 of which I was at a conference, and I learned the following. In this digital world and digital divide, in this world of social media, there is a conversation that is occurring above you. When I took students, when I was principal of University High School, to China, and we met high school students of high school age in China. Those students had no idea what Newark was, let alone where it was located. And they had a conversation with the students from Newark that was very unique. What Dr. Zhao has indicated is that the world is having a conversation and children from the United States are not a part of it. You may accidentally fall into a Facebook conversation or be the recipient of bullying as a result of it. But what he is suggesting is that the United States has to get it together, because since we are the democracy that we are, there is a conversation that is occurring with young people right now from across the world that is absent this country. So we're going to be bold today. So we're wearing T-shirts today that are to spread the word. I am the solution. And I know that I am because I'm from Newark, New Jersey. And I know that people are going to be scared because people need to be scared. We need to scare people in a very different way. There are people that think negative thoughts about this great city, and I'm not one of those people. So the interesting irony of it all is that I have an incredible responsibility from being a little welfare boy with no money, no bank account, to being responsible for over $1 billion and a good 6,000 employees. And I have 37,000 students. And my job is to make sure that I fix whatever needs to be fixed and turn around everything that needs to be turned around and make every teacher, classroom, and every school a place where everyone is going to want to be and learn. And when I was principal of Dr. Horton in an elementary school, and then principal at University High School in the high school, one of the things that I did was I knew that I had good staff, but I also knew I needed great staff. And I was having a really difficult time improving the school. I knew that it would be hard. And what I did is I met with my students, and my students helped make a better school. So I know that our city is in good shape. I know that our city is in good shape because of you. You exist, you breathe. Those of you that are sitting down right now, just kind of listening, and those of you who are trying to tune in, need to understand something today very important. You're beautiful. You're smart. That we have a responsibility, being a Newarker, to impress upon everyone and have everyone understand that they become a better person because they interact with us. That people become better because of us in Newark. In this room right now, I know that there are principals and teachers and even the next superintendent. And you may not necessarily be the next superintendent right after me, because it does take time, but you may want to be a superintendent. I'm letting you know that I need for us to improve this school district, and it requires the very, very best, and it's okay to say the very, very best is in our city. So I want you to join me in recognizing all of your classmates across all of the schools, across all of the grades, from 6th grade to our class of 2019. A big round of applause to all of you. If our job today is to scare some people, then we cannot be afraid. So there are a number of people that are here today to help me, help you, get us together. So when your principals are not in school every month, they have a meeting with me. It's called the Superintendent's Conference. Whenever I pull your teachers on staff development days, they're in conferences. Sometimes they go away to a conference. This is a conference, and we're extremely excited that New Jersey Institute of Technology has assisted us in convening this event for us. I'm going to introduce a couple of people that are going to start our morning. I'm going to basically be sitting on the side over there. I will either have a microphone on me or near me, so whenever somebody says something, I want to echo it or say you don't know what you're talking about, I'm going to do that. Okay? You good? You're good? All right, good. I know that at the middle of the day or around the middle of the day, when we break for lunch, and it'll be in here, that the mayor should be joining us, so I'm excited about that. And at the end of the day, so hopefully it has been shared with you, we're not leaving. Usually whenever we're at an event, it's 2 o'clock, 1:30. We leave the event to get back to school so that at dismissal time you leave. Dismissal time for everyone here will be 3:30, which means there'll be travel time back to your schools. So that means everyone should get back to their school between 4 and our furthest elementary school about 4:30 or so from this event. But we're here until 3:30. One of the things that I will do at the end of the session, about a half hour in, I will come back, and there are special messages that I have for every single one of the classes. Actually, every single person in here, I'm going to give you some important notes. So I'm going to want to make sure that if you don't have paper by that point in time, you have paper and something to write with, so that when I do come back on at the end of the day, that each of the messages that applies to you, it either references a date or some important factual point. So my buddy helping me out throughout the course of the day, and there are a couple of people that you will meet, Mr. Comenzanas, Ms. Rivera, Ms. Berryman. Those are people that will be giving you important information or will be assisting you during the course of the day. Will those three of you just wave your hands so that they can see you? So there's Mr. Comenzanas, Ms. Berryman, and there's Ms. Rivera. The person leading the entire morning session is a really good friend of mine. And I can't have you working with anybody but the very, very best. Okay? That's how important you are. She's met with my team, which is my executive staff. She has met with principals. She's even met with the entire Department of Teaching and Learning in our school district. That's how important you are. She's only been meeting with the very, very best, and who better than the students of my school district, okay? And you're going to be meeting her in a little bit, probably in about 15 minutes from now, but I want you to join me in doing an awesome Newark welcome to Dr. Yvette Jackson. There she is. All right. All right. So I know at the end I'm going to thank all of the staff members that are here, whether it's a principal that has decided to show up, whoever is the staff member at your table. I don't know if you thanked them, but they assisted us in getting you here, and it just doesn't happen magically. When you get on the bus back, there's going to be a bus driver that brought you here. Maybe they shared their name with you, maybe they didn't, but it's about time that we scare everybody. So we're going to scare a lot of people today and for the rest of your days by saying thank you to people, by saying I appreciate you, by letting them know that they were helpful, and also by letting them know when they're not. To help me get us through it all. Because who do I have whenever I have a problem? I got my mom, right? And my 3 sisters, the 4 of them. All you need is one adult in your life that's going to worry about you. The person who's going to tell you you're wrong when you're wrong. That one person who's going to get in your face and make everything wrong in your life right. In my life, That's my mom. In your life, maybe a teacher. I've had teachers who have played that role. My principals played that role for me. That's why I wanted to be for my students the type of principal that my principals were for me. And if you didn't know this, now you've got me behind you. And I want you to have a great day. My friend, Dr. Lauren Wells. She's been working so hard. She needs more love than that. A little bit more love than that. Yes. Let me tell you something. I don't trust anybody with anything. It's just a reality, especially with you, the precious ones, where we have to take care of you. So Dr. Wells has been working in our school district on this strategic plan that we are doing that will launch in June, and that will last for at least 10 years. And then we will actually move on, so whoever decides to either become the superintendent at that point in time moves with that same mission and vision forward. I present to you Dr. Lauren Wells.
Good morning. Good morning. A little more energy. Good morning. So the superintendent already said anything that anybody could want to say to you about why you're here. I walked around the room as some of you were coming in, and you said, well, because I'm special, because I am the solution, because I'm brilliant, and many of you in the room I don't know. There are some of you in the room that I do know, and I want to tell you that every single person in this room is here because you are a genius. Do you believe that? Okay, one more time. Every single person in this room is here today because you are a genius. Do you believe that? Yes. Stand up and say, I'm a genius. Stand up and say, I'm a genius. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. I am stand up. Everybody should be standing up. Okay. So, right? Because you are geniuses, and because you walk the hallways of your schools every day, right? Because you go to classes, you study English, you study math, you study social studies, there's some art in schools. Because you do all these things, you are the solution, right? Because you have these experiences, you know the answers to many of the questions that us adults, as the superintendent said earlier, have not always done such a great job of solving. So the reason that you're here today is because we want to do some work with you, which is why you see all the pencils and paper and crayons and markers on the table. That's about getting your ideas about what you think needs to happen to make this place a school district where 10 years from now, 20 years from now, your little brothers, your little sisters, your kids are going to school and they are thrilled about everything that happens in school from the time they get there to the time they leave, almost to the point that they don't want to leave, right? So you know that feeling that you have when you have that special class and you're really excited about going there, or that special teacher? You know that feeling? If you know that feeling, put your hand up. We're going to talk to you today about that feeling and about why that feeling is so important to your learning and what you need to think about in order to create strategies that make sure that that feeling happens in every class, with every teacher, with every student, in every encounter that you have in every school. And you are a part of that solution. So you're going to manifest that feeling today. You're going to feel excited about things, and you're going to develop strategies that you think are going to work to make your schools be schools where joy and love and curiosity and fun and excitement are always present. Because I think that learning is a fun thing, right? Like, I think that when you discover something or you get into something and you're interested in something, so here's this. Anybody ever had a crush on anybody? Okay, right, so you know that feeling? That's what I think learning is actually like, because something got turned on inside your brain. And we can make school be that way. And so that's what we're here to work with you all today. So you have blue folders on your tables, right? Open them up, please. On the left side of your folder, you're going to see an agenda. And this agenda walks us through the day. You've heard from the superintendent this morning, and he shared lots of wisdom about his life, his experience, about his experience as a child, as a teacher, as a principal. We're going to follow Superintendent Leon with Dr. Jackson, and I do want to emphasize the superintendent's point. Dr. Jackson is an educational leader who travels all over the world, educating teachers, principals, and other adults who work in education. Brazil, Switzerland, you name it, people call her to go there and to teach them. This morning, what you guys are going to do is spend time with her getting the same professional development that she would give to a teacher, or she would give to a principal, or she would give to a superintendent. So that when you leave after her session and go to your breakout sessions, you feel like experts in what she has taught you, which will help you think about strategies to achieve some of the things that she has taught you. And that's so we're making history right here. You are making history by being here today, and when you go into your breakout sessions and you do the work, you're going to make more history, and when we put it in the strategic plan, we're going to make another level of history. Because we are not leaving your voices out of the process. You are what the strategic plan is about. You are what this moment in this city that is being watched by the state, because some of you may know that local control has been returned to our school board. That's a big, right, technical thing. But people are watching Newark. And we are not afraid because you are here today. So you're going to take the learning from Dr. Jackson, develop some strategies, and we're going to include that in the strategic plan. After Dr. Jackson, the mayor is going to come. He's going to give some remarks to you. You will break out into breakout sessions that will be organized. If you look at the bottom of the agenda, there's a list. It'll tell you what room you're going to go to. You will be mixed, K-8 schools with the high schools. So this is going to be a multi-grade, interactional, strategic session that you're going to have. Then you'll come back. We'll do some reporting out. We've got some raffles for you. You guys, everybody has their raffle ticket, right? And I think some of you might have 2 or 3 because of the way things happened when you got here, but we'll figure that out when it's time to draw the raffles. And then we're going to dismiss you. So we have a really full day planned for you. If you haven't taken your coat off yet, feel free to get comfortable. We're going to be here for a while. You're going to get moving. You're going to get talking. We have lots of adults around the room in red shirts. Raise your hands, folks, in the red shirts. I just want you all to know that these are part of the team who spent a lot of time putting this day together and making sure that it was organized so that you have the great experience. So give them a round of applause. And I am going to bring up my dear friend, Dr. Jackson.
Thank you.
Is it working?
I think so. Does that sound like it's working? It does sound like that.
And she really is my dear friend. So I want to give you guys a lesson. This is what a mentor is, right? And all around you, in your schools, in the community organizations that you participate in, you will meet people who have more experience than you, who have characteristics that you admire, who do things that you would like to do in life. Make them your mentor, right? You make people your mentors. That's a little trick for you to understand. They don't really adopt you. You go and you get them. So attach yourself to someone that you admire. This is a woman whose work I admire, who has taught me a lot, who is a mentor and a friend, and I am grateful to have her here with you all because she really is the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I cannot tell you how excited I am to be here today. Everybody was right what they said to you. I have worked all over the place, and I've been saying, you got to get young people at the table so we can hear their voices. I say this all the time, and so few places do that, but your superintendent had the confidence and the competence to bring you all together. Now, one thing, I know when Lauren said how many people are geniuses here, and then she asked you to stand up, but everybody didn't stand up. So we're going to test something out. This is what we're going to do. We have 25 tables here, all right? 25 tables. We are going to start from table number 1. They are going to stand up. They're going to say, I am gifted. I know she said genius. I'm going to say gifted. As soon as one sits down, what's going to happen? Table 2. Now, should I say to them, okay, it's your time? Absolutely not. You know the cue. They're going to stand up. We're going to do a little dress rehearsal first, okay? So table 1, give us a dress rehearsal. You're going to stand up, say I'm gifted, sit down, and then 2 jump right up. You ready? Go. I'm gifted. Woo! See? All right. Oh, they're going. Go ahead. All right, keep going. 4. All right, but what has to happen? 5, just stand right up. Yes. Come on, 8. All right, 9. Yes. 11. Yes, 12, louder, 12, come on. Okay. Good, come on, keep the energy going. Yeah, all right, they got the energy back. All right, 15, 16, show them up. All right, 17, nope. There they are. Okay, 18. Yes, 19. 20. Yes, 21. Where's 21? Yes, where's 22? Yes, 23. Yes, 24. And last but not least, yes, let's give ourselves a hand. Woo! 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 And so, Lauren was not wrong when she said you really are. I spent 3 years writing a book called Pedagogy of Confidence. Pedagogy means the art and science of teaching. Why confidence? Whose confidence do you think I wrote the book about? That's right. Who else? Mine, yeah, that's true. What about your teachers? The superintendent, the principals. All right, but the point is, it took me 3 years to write this book. That's a long time. But I wrote it to learn the science of the brain. So that what we're going to do today is we're going to learn about that science. So you will know why we are saying you are really gifted. I'm going to talk about the neuroscience. That means we're going to talk about the brain. So, are you ready for the trip? How many people are gifted? All right, we got it. All right, so we're going to start with the protocols for our work. Protocol. Anybody know what a protocol is? If you don't, it's up there. What's a protocol? Excellent. It's processes and systems to help the group work more efficiently together. So we're going to have a couple of protocols today that help us move this agenda along because you are gifted and we're taking this trip together. First protocol we're going to have is We're going to pay attention to the stop signal. When I raise my hand, that's the signal to stop, because you're going to do a lot of interacting. I'm going to talk much less than you are. You will talk more because we want to hear your voice. So my hand goes up. What happens? All right, you stop talking. Okay, so just so we can get it together, you have to, next protocol, respect your team members. When somebody is talking, give them your full attention. Now, I know some of you have your cell phones with you and all that, but guess what? The cell phones are going to be out for a while we're together, so you can really give good attention to your buddies, okay? You're going to wait for your turn to speak, and the last thing is follow the lead of the group facilitator. Every table is going to have a student group facilitator, and this is how you're going to decide who that facilitator is. All right, let's get the old glasses on so I can see what I'm talking about. All right, so this is how you're going to figure out who the group facilitator is, but we are going to keep changing during the entire morning. Each person is going to have a turn to be the facilitator. The facilitator is the person to make sure when my hand goes up, that is what the facilitator is going to do, that right up after me, so that the group sees, okay, this is our time. Okay? Everybody got that? All right, so you're going to go around the table, talk to each other, and the person whose birthday is closest to today, you are going to be facilitator number one. That means you have 1 minute to talk around the table, talk to each other. When's your birthday? Go around that table. All right. Thirty seconds. Figure out who your group leader, facilitator number one is. All right, I think it's 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch this. Where are the group facilitators? Their hands are up first. Where are you? All right, all the group facilitators, number one, facilitator one, stand up so we can see who you are. Let's applaud those group facilitators. Woo! Woo! Yeah, yeah. They're going to keep us going. That's right. There you go. All right. So, everyone, now, this is what you're going to do. Whoever is group facilitator number one, see the direction. It says start from your left and give everybody around the table a number in sequential order. So no 35s. All right, so it'll be, if you're number one, you're going to look to your left and you're going to say you're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, go. Group facilitator one, give everybody a number. Everybody got a number? What happened? Yeah, the group facilitator, what number is he? 1. He's 1. And then he's going to go 2, 3. Is it clear? Okay. Everybody? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. This is a test. 3, 2. My hand is up. Group facilitators get those hands up, and then everybody does the same thing as well. First the group facilitator, then everybody's hand goes up. This way I know that you're with me and we're ready to keep the ball rolling. You did a great job so far, so good. Clap for yourselves, please. Yeah, yeah. We're going to affirm each other a lot this morning. Affirmation. Saying or doing something positive for ourselves or for those whom we're working with. All right, let's see. All right? Now, there are adults. She gives me, this is how you always have to have partners. The adults at the table. Now, you're all adults, so we'll say if you're not one of the students. How's that? That's so much better, right? If you're not a student and you're over the age of 21, how's that? Then your job for today is to be an assistant, to be a coach to the table, making sure if anybody has any questions, you can help them straighten out the questions. If numbering goes off, anything like that, you're there to be the coach. So will all the coaches stand up? All the coaches, yeah, let's affirm out. Woo! 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 All right, all right. This is a team. We are so going to rocket this off. Okay, so here we go. What is the purpose of today? Yeah, that's right. Read it out loud. To ensure all of you develop your innate potential for high intellectual performances and leadership. You are leaders. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in this world. As the superintendent said, that is not cool. It's really scary. And it's about time adults listen to you, because you have the creativity, the belief that it could be better. Do you agree? It can be better, right? Well, we're waiting for you to take on that leadership role now, but just to keep growing through it. So, first thing, we want to make sure you all know your own innate. That means what you were born with. And all of us were born with the wiring, the capacity for high intellectual performance, high giftedness, all of us. Not in every single thing we do. We can be good at everything, but to be really gifted, you're going to be that in the thing you are most passionate about, that you develop, you stick. Now, you can have more than one gift, can't you? You can have lots of strengths. We're going to talk about why that can happen, how that can happen, and how you can use it. Part 2, why do you have to build your strengths? Because you are going to be the ones to transform not only yourselves into these great capacity, but we need to transform the world. And it is you whom we are depending on for doing that. And so my first question to you is, what do you think the most important ingredient is for you to be able to say, I am gifted, and then become a leader? Talk to each other. Now, I'm asking you not what comes from outside, what has to come from inside you. Take 1 minute. What do you think? Look how many letters. I have the number of spaces stands for the number of letters. So it has to be a word that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. 30 seconds. What do you think? It has to be inside of you. What do you think? Everybody work together. Take 15 more seconds. Look at how many, 6 letters. 6 letters. Has to be 6 letters. What has to be in you for you to really work on this idea of standing up proud and saying you're gifted? All right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My hand's up, guys. Hands up. Excellent job. I'm going to give you the first letter. First letter. First letter. First letter. Anybody want to scream it out? Believe? How many people say believe? Let's see if you're right. Woo! All right. First test, and you got it. Belief. You've got to believe in yourself. So we're going to talk about why you should believe in yourself, meaning what we are born with. We're going to build what's called your epistemology. You know, that's a big word. All it means is we're going to build your own knowledge about your giftedness. Epistemology. Can I hear you say it? Epistemology. All right, we are rocking. Here we go. So, That's why we're talking about pedagogy of confidence, how we get through this teaching teaching and learning and teaching that gets you to the highest of who you can be. All right, we're switching jobs now. Facilitator 1, you are now taking a rest, and who are all the facilitator number 2s? Where's my 2s? Everybody has a 2. There you go. All right, let's see. I think I see all of them. Yep, all right. Table 1, where's your facilitator? Where's 2? You're 2? All right, excellent. All right, here we go. So we're talking about belief, but I'm going to ask you a question. What keeps students back from believing in their own strengths and giftedness? You see the Post-it notes on your table? Everybody take a Post-it note. Facilitator 2, make sure everybody has a Post-it note. Take one Post-it note. Facilitator 2, open up. There's a roll of paper on your table as well. Please open up that roll of paper. Everybody see the roll of paper? Coaches help the facilitators get those rolls of paper. We need one roll of paper laid out on the table. All right, open up those rolls of paper. You only need one of the pieces flattened out on the table. You might have to move some things. Facilitators and coaches help your partners at the table clear off your table. Just move things over so you can open up your paper. Coaches and facilitator number 2 help out. Okay, I see almost half the group's ready. Takes a little bit of time to clean the table off. Give yourself a little space. All right, you have 15 seconds to get that paper all out on the table. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. My hand's getting ready to go up. 3, 2, 1. My hand is up. Where's the facilitators? Thanks. Now everybody else's hand? Excellent. All right. Everybody should have a Post-it note. Everybody has a Post-it note? Excellent. All right. This is the direction. I asked the question, what keeps students back? What makes them not believe that they have strengths and they're gifted? I want you on your one Post-it note, write what you think the answer to that is. Everybody has a different answer, but from your perspective, from your lens, from your frame, write one thing and then take that Post-it note just like on the screen and just put it on the paper, all right? All right, so what's your idea? Make sure everybody contributes. Facilitator, make sure everybody can. What's the thing that keeps some people back from believing that they have strengths? All right? You have 1 minute to come up with your thought and post it. What is it? Everybody has a Post-it note? All right, 2 minutes. Everybody has a Post-it note. You're taking the Post-it note. And you're sticking it. Great job. Great job. Okay, put it on those papers. 1 more minute. Post that note on the table, on the paper. Post those notes. What keeps some people back from believing in their own strengths and giftedness? What makes them not believe? 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Everybody, there should be 10 Post-it notes on that paper or more. Could be more. And I want the coaches to participate too. Coaches, get a Post-it note and participate. Coaches, 15 seconds. I'll give 30 seconds since coaches are just getting the Post-it notes. 30, what do you think makes some people not believe that they have strengths and are gifted? What holds them back? What affects them? 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Facilitator 2, my hand's up. Everybody else, thank you. All right. All right, so hands down, here's part 2. That was just part 1. All right? Now, I'm asking you to speak up. What I mean by that is you wrote down your idea on a Post-it note. And that should say Facilitator 2 now, because we're up to Facilitator 2. You're going to share your perspective first. So whoever the facilitator is, they're going to read what's on their Post-it note. After that person goes, the person to the right of the facilitator will go next. And we're going to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to hear each other. All right, let me go back over that. Facilitator is going first, and then to the right, you're going to make sure everybody else gets a chance, including the coaches. You ready? All right, let's see if you can do this in 1 minute. Go. Go. Make sure everybody gets a chance to go. Everybody's writing what keeps people back from believing in themselves. Thirty seconds left. All right, I see that's, what table was that? All affirming. Thank you, table 9. All right, good affirmation. All right, let's see how my time is. Time is up, and so is my hand. Where are my facilitators' 2s? Excellent. Is there anyone in the room who did not get to share what was on his or her Post-it note yet? Okay, so what do you say, 30 more seconds? If you shared already, you can just chit-chat. Go, 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. My hand is up. Thank you, facilitator number 2. You're good like facilitator 1 was. All right. All right, let's continue. So you listen to each other about what makes some people not believe. Is there anybody here that said maybe it's because somebody else told them that they weren't smart or gifted? Anybody have that as an idea? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. How many people say you just think that because of test results? Uh-huh. Some people thought it was the test results. How many people think that they are not gifted because nobody ever told them that they were? Anybody have that written down? All right. Well, we are here to turn this around. You are leaders, which means you have to believe in your own gifts if you're going to bring them out in others, and that's your job. Let's look at a couple of leaders. Anybody know who this is? That's right, Sonia Sotomayor. Let's see what she says. What is she? A Supreme Court justice, a female, a Latina. She is hot. That's right, she is hot. But look at what she says. Think about what you had written down there. She says, in every position I've been in, there have been naysayers who don't believe I'm qualified or don't believe I can do the work, and I feel a special responsibility to prove them what? Wrong. That's right. She's like, oh no, oh no. And that is what you are going to do. That is, one more. Who's this? Oprah and Obama. Okay, let's see what she says. Oprah says, create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life because you become what you believe. How many people now believe that they are gifted? I'm doing a test. I'm going to keep checking in. All right, here we go. So let's see this. We're going to strengthen the belief. This is the cover of the book that I was talking about. So it says cognition and it says neuroscience. Cognition is how your brain makes meaning. It's just how it figures out the world. But neuroscience is the physical part of how the neurons get connected in the brain to push your intelligence. And we're going to look at both the cognition, how you make meaning, what helps you make meaning, and we're going to look at the brain. So you will believe even more in your giftedness. We are working in your one more time, epistemology. There you go. We're building up your own science. That's right there at the top. So, facilitator 3, changing jobs. Facilitator, where are all my number 3s? Number 3s. Let's see table 1. Where's 3? Where's 3 at table 25? Table 25. All right. What about table 16? Where's 3? All right, good. We're ready to go. Facilitator 3 is on call. All right. So here we go. Pedagogy of confidence. What we're going to look at, what I did when I was working, is I wanted to make sure you all of us really believe in ourselves. So I, as I said, did the science. And I found out that there are 7 things that we call high operational practices. That when you are engaged in these practices, when your teachers help you and are guided through it, when you do them with others, you strengthen the brain. And the more you strengthen the brain, the more demonstration of your highest intellectual performance becomes obvious. So let's look at those. In your blue folder on the right side, there is a handwritten description of all the high operational practices. You don't have to read them now. We're going to go through every one of them. You will use this more later when you are in your breakout rooms. But let's start with, what is the first one? Identifying your strengths. Let's look at why that is the most important to begin with. Now, number 2, relationships are extremely important. In fact, they help you believe in yourselves. Just like some of you said, if somebody tells me I'm not smart, I'm going to believe them. Nope, not anymore. Oh no, they don't even know you. Excuse me? You have your strengths. But I put strengths, identifying your strengths, as number 1, because I'm going to share with you what I found out from the science, why this is so important. Here we go. What do you think this picture is supposed to display? Which one of the high operational practices? That's right. Identifying the strengths and activating your personal strengths. All right, so we're going to look at the brain. It's not just, and you know, I chose this picture of the lady doing her muscle because guess what the brain is like? A muscle. The more you exercise it with your belief and your highest intellectual ideas, you just pump it up. You get it stronger and stronger. All right, so let's see how that happens. Here, what do we have a picture of here? There we go. We got a brain. Now, what's in the brain? What is this? Anybody know what this is? Neurons. How many people said neurons? All right. The neurons. Now, understand, this is important. Neurons are not the only kind of cells in your brain. You also have something in your brain that are called glia cells, but they take care of your body. They let you know when you're thirsty and all of those good things that keep you human. But it is the neurons. So now I want you to lean in, talk to each other for just 10 seconds. How many neurons do you think are in the brain? Take a guess. Talk to each other. How many neurons are in the brain? Take a guess. Take 15 seconds. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. My hand is up. Facilitator threes. And let's see. Drum roll. Da, 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 da. All right. How many are there? 86 to 100 billion. That is more than the stars in this galaxy. That's a lot of neurons. And you know what? The neurons and your brain, they make it look like it's beige color, but what color should it really be? Gray. Gray matter. The brain actually is like a low color gray. And guess what? It doesn't matter what color you are outside. Guess what color everybody's brain is? Gray, which means all of us, somebody said pink or something? All right. All of us have incredible ability. Now, we're going to go to the next level. What we're looking at, though, in our work today is what helps the brain make all of the connections so it can think at high levels, more efficiently and more effectively. That's what we're going to look at. You see, you have in the brain, in the neuron, notice there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dendrites. They're the shorter ones that are sticking out from the neuron. There are 5 of them. The brain can have many, many, many dendrites. The dendrites are what take information in from the next neuron. In order to really push your high intelligence, we need a lot of connectivity across the neurons. And the more that you engage in exciting, interesting, exposure kind of activities, the more you work on pumping that muscle, the more dendrites you have. The more dendrites you have, the better the connectivity. So you can have lots and lots of dendrites, and we want to keep growing them. But every neuron only has one thing that's called the axon. All right, so we got the axon. Let's see if it's, yep. The axon is the longer one, and it looks like it has coating around it. That's the one that sends information out to all the dendrites. He's like kind of in charge. And that coating is called the myelin sheath. It's like insulation. It helps that energy go through your brain really quick at warp drive. How many people ever heard that term, warp drive? Yeah, anybody who's ever watched what? Star Trek, that's right. All you Trekkies, I'm with you, we're hanging. Warp drive, so you know warp drive is like, right? Okay. Now, the question is, in our work together, this is what we find out. The question is, how do we build the myelin sheath to make our brain stronger? So this is what we have found out about how that happens. One is when teachers help you connect a new learning with something you already know, which means your brain is already primed, the stronger the myelin sheath gets. But the next thing that makes the myelin sheath even stronger is when we build and start on our what? Our strengths. So this is what you're going to do. You are going to right now, I was going to have you do a bubble map, but where is Lauren? Lauren, when am I stopping? How much time do I have? I have an hour. Okay. So we're not going to do a bubble map because there's a but. This is what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to think about, you have lots and lots of strengths, we know that. But think about what you think your strongest strength is. That thing, and it can be something in school, it can be out of school. It doesn't have to be an academic type of strength. But I want you to think of something you are seriously good at. And when you are doing it, you are on fire because you love it so much. So this is what, now I need your attention. Facilitators, help me get everybody's attention. Thank you. So this is what you're going to do. I want you to think of that strength. You're going to turn to one partner, not the whole table. It's only one partner. You can either move your chairs out a little. You can go knee to knee. You can lean in. But you are going to have 30 seconds, each of you. One person is going to be A. Okay, wait, I hear a lot of talking, which I'm sure is good talking, except you won't hear me. And we need to remember what our protocol said. All right, one person's talking at a time, and guess who's talking now? Me. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You have a partner, decide who at your table is your, and it obviously has to be somebody either sitting on your right or your left. You can't get up and go move and sit next to somebody. So you decide, this is what you're going to do. One person is A, one person is B. Establish that right now. Talk to whoever your partner is. Just determine who's A and who's B. Everybody A, B. All right, time is up. Thank you, facilitators. 10 is on it, 7 is on it, 13's on it, 12. Okay, thank you. All right, here you go. I am going to only give you 30 seconds each. One person talks at a time. Person A is going to talk. You are not going to stop. For 30 seconds, you're going to say, my strength is X, and you're going to tell your partner what happens when you use that strength. How are you feeling when you use it? What happens when you use the strength? When I say time is up, okay, we're almost ready. We're almost ready. Almost ready. I don't want to talk too loud, because then it sounds like I'm shouting, and I don't want to do that. So after A is finished, B is going to go. And I'll say when 30 seconds are up, I'll say time is up. I'll wait for everyone to raise his or her hand, and then person B will go. How many seconds will they have? Are you ready? Let the games begin. Go. Time is up. All hands up. All hands up. All right, what happens next? B, 30 seconds, go. Time is up. So is my hand. Time is up. Oh, you guys are so good. Let me ask this question. How did it feel talking about your strength? Oh, I heard a lot of people say, how many people said it felt good? It was like a turn on. Okay. Table 13, nobody raised your hand. Do you not feel good talking about your strength? Is there anybody who felt uncomfortable talking about their strength? All right, there are some. Why do you think that is? Why are some people uncomfortable? Remember how we started this exercise with the Post-it notes? Right, because people don't usually ask you your strengths. In fact, they're real quick to tell you what you're not good at, right? Except guess what? Your strengths are stronger than what you're not good at, and you can use your strength to get to that undeveloped area. Now, it got nice noisy here while you were talking about your strengths. Let me tell you what was happening while some of you said, it felt great. What was happening is, and I'm going to go, see, this is what we would have done, but it wasn't enough time, but that's okay. 2 neurotransmitters were being let off in your body. Now, what's a neurotransmitter? Anybody know? Yes, but these are them, but let me tell you what it is. They are energy, it's chemistry that goes between the neurons to help them connect better. Because remember, we said we want our brain, we want the neurons connecting tight so we can think at warp speed. So a neurotransmitter helps that connection. There are 2 that go off in your body. One is called, when you're talking about your strengths or you're using it, which is why so many of you said it felt good. What's going off in your body is something called endorphins. Did anybody ever hear that term before? You hear it a lot associated with what? That's right, exercise. When you are exercising, your body is letting off endorphins, and it feels good, and it really stimulates your brain. That same chemical is going off in your body just talking about your strengths. You are connecting and making that myelin sheath stronger. The other thing that's going off, the other neurotransmitter helps the connectivity, is called dopamine. That's a relaxing chemical. So while you're getting kind of amped up, you're also not stressed out. You're calm, okay? So that is what was going off in your body. And that is why we said you have to start by believing in yourself and in your strengths. And that's why I asked you to share that. So the first high operational practice is identifying and activating what? Strengths. So then what is it? So how do we describe what it is? How would we really summarize that? So I want you to look at a partner again. It could be a different partner, meaning the other side. And all you're going to say, and you only have 1 minute, is to say, so what was your takeaway? What stood out for you in terms of identifying and activating strengths? In other words, what we just did, what was the most relevant to you? You have 1 minute to talk to your partner. You both can talk. Go. 1 minute. Yes, that would be great.
There's 2 of them, so.
And I need some water. Get a chance. Twenty seconds. You're just sharing. What was the best part? What was the most relevant for you? 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, thank you, 2, 1. Facilitator 3, my hand's up. Facilitator, where are we? Whoa, the middle is on it. Come on, 2 ends. Yes, excellent. Oh, what about over there? 25, 26. Let's get, not 26. There is no 26. 24. All right, there are 2 people walking around with mics. I would like a couple of people. I need 3 people. Doesn't have to be from the same table. Anywhere in the room who just shares with us, what was your takeaway about talking about strengths? What was the most relevant and important? All right, so people with the mics, if you would identify. All right, oh wait, before you talk, you know what we have to do for her? Let's applaud, she's out there. There you go, we're affirming. We're affirming. And tell us your name. Must not be on. All right, Sierra. Sierra said, I don't need a mic. Hey, Sierra, that was called leadership. Go ahead, Sierra. Tell us, what was your takeaway? What was the most relevant for you?
That's better. So
Yes, it does.
my strengths. I just felt like I was able to tell him like how I feel and what my strengths were, and that he was really listening. That's what I took away. And then I feel like when he was telling me his strengths and stuff, I took away stuff from that too. I feel like I got to know him better, really.
Thanks, Sierra. All right, feedback. All right, who else? I need 2 more people. We got somebody else who's ready to go. All right, you know what we have to do before he talks. All right, we feed forward. All right, take it away.
Hi, my name is David Doughty. I'm from Arts High School Junior.
All right.
So what me and my partners took away from this was that we have more strengths that connect us, and we have more strengths than we have weaknesses that are going to help us persevere.
That's beautiful. More strengths that connect us and help us persevere. David, great. Sierra, excellent. All right, I need una más. Okay, una más. Okay. Well, I got 2. All right, 2 more. Oh, we have to get all the way over that side. That side of the room. Can we get a mic over there? Okay. Woo, it's everybody wants to talk. All right, who's talking?
My name is...
Well, wait, you know what we have to do. Woo-hoo. All right, take it away.
My name is Talia. I attend George Washington Carver. And a takeaway was that I got to share my strengths, and it just felt better getting it out my system, basically.
All right, Selena, can I get one on this side? One more. All right, wait, there we go. All right, dígame.
My name is Kimberly Valencia. I'm from Barringer High School. So the biggest takeaway I took from this is that me and my partner have very different interests and like different strengths, but that's what makes us unique to our own selves, and that's what I learned from that.
All right, nice. Okay, so what I just tried to capture, which you will read later, is identifying, now here's the science, identifying and activating strengths releases, we know now, neurotransmitters of pleasure, motivating us to actively participate in a learning experience. When those neurotransmitters go off, it also helps us set goal and follow through because we feel so amped up. So that is fantastic. So we're going to go from there, first of all, to a new facilitator. I need facilitator 4. Facilitator 4. Where are all my facilitator 4s? Can I see your hand? Excellent, excellent. I see. Let me see. Excellent. Okay, so here we go. Building relationships. Building relationships. Here we go. Now, I told you earlier that cognition is how our brain makes meaning. So what affects how our brain makes meaning? That's what I wanted to learn. What really helps us to think the way we do? And what I found out, it is your what? Your culture. And culture is not race. Culture is what is meaningful and relevant to you. It can be people, places, experience, those things that are so relevant that they shape the way you see the world. That affects how you make meaning. Your brain is always checking in and saying, wait, is this important to me or is it not? And what have I done already that made it so important? So that's one thing, but then there's another. So cognition is making meaning, culture, which is your frame of reference, and then there's what? What's next? Language. Now I want you to look at this. Talk to each other for 1 minute. If cognition is in the middle, and that's how we do what? Make meaning. Interpret this slide. What is this slide saying to you? If cognition is how you make meaning, what do you think this is doing and that? Talk to each other for a minute. What do you think? Interpret it. What is it saying to you? Take 1 minute. 30 seconds. What do you think it's saying? Coaches help stimulate them. $20 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. My hand's up, facilitator 4. Thank you. Oh, you guys are so great. All right. Now, every time we do a new high operational practice, at the end, I'm going to ask you to reflect with a friend. Why? Because there are 5 things that the brain wants from the time you are born. From the time you're born, your brain wants to be woke. What does that mean? Awakened, turned on. From you're in a little crib, your brain is looking for, what can I play with? What can I play with? It wants to be turned on. The second thing what your brain wants is to be engaged. It wants to be active. So first it wants to be woke, it wants to be active. The other thing, your brain loves challenge. Your brain loves a challenge. Just as long as it feels that it can get the support to push through that challenge. It loves challenge. It looks for challenges. And if you're not finding a challenge where you are, let's say in your class, or if you're at home, you're working on stuff, you don't find a challenge, guess what? You're going to go find one. Your brain is saying, okay, what can I get into? What can I get? 2 more things, though, that the brain wants. It loves feedback. It loves feedback. It wants to know, hey, how am I doing? And it wants to reflect. It wants time to go back over what it heard and put the ideas together. Now, the cool thing about what I just told you, this is what gaming people have learned, meaning computer gamers. When they create computer programs, they do it based on those 5 things. How do we wake up the person who's playing? How do we engage them? How do we challenge them? How do we give them feedback? How do we give them time? Could be at warp drive, but time to reflect. And that's why I keep saying, turn to a partner and reflect. Now, let's go back to this. You shared some meaning. I need one person. Let's get 2 people from the middle to tell us, how did you interpret, or your partner interpret this slide? Can I get a volunteer? All right, we got a volunteer right there. And you know what we have to do, everybody? We feed forward. All right, talk to us.
My name is Julian. I go to Arts High School.
Okay.
And the way I interpreted it was like, I thought of it as without it, you wasn't fully complete, and it was putting the missing pieces of like your life together.
Ooh, nice, nice. Putting the missing pieces of your life. I need one more. All right, stand up. You know what we're gonna do for you. Take it in, take it in. All right, talk to us.
Good morning, Newark.
Good
My
morning.
name is Nasir Hayes. I'm from Malcolm X Shabazz. I'm a senior.
All right, nice. You're counting the months now too, aren't
And
you?
what my partner actually got from this activity was that the environment that we are so around for so long since birth, that actually helps our brain focus on our interests, which means that that's how we figure out what we like minus what we don't like, what we like to scroll through, who we like to follow minus who we like to ignore, or what we don't like to do.
Right.
So
That's right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Senior. All right. So, what is in your frame? Because your frame is one of your strengths, meaning your culture. So we're going to do a frame of reference. You have plain white paper. You have lined paper on your table, but you also have 8.5 by 11 white paper. Please give everybody a sheet. You're going to do your own frame of reference. So if I was to give you this picture, you could stick pictures on it, right, of those people who really inspire. Why is enrichment so important? Because it really taps our interests and creates strengths. It expands our thinking, pushes us over to the other, and guides us to apply what we know in new situations. That's why enrichment is so important. So we have things that enrich us. There are places that enrich us. There are people. In other words, things in your frame. Things in your frame can really enrich you. All right, we're almost done. We got facilitator 7, number 7. All right, let's see all the 7s. All right, we got 7s. All right, that was a good clap, table 15. Okay, all right. Now, the next high operational practice. You guys have the description of the high operational practices in your folder. What is this a picture to represent? It's after enrichment. What's the one that comes after enrichment? Integrating prerequisites. Can somebody tell me what a prerequisite is? Get any volunteer to tell me what a prerequisite is? Prerequisite. Prerequisite. All right, then we'll do this together. Prerequisite. Here we go. So, look at this picture. I want you to do some more critical analysis. There's a picture here of a student, and on the, what side is that of the student? It's the opposite. The left side, it says new information or a unit of study. So think about it if you were the girl, you're the person in the middle. That O stands for the organism. You're the organism. Think of yourself as being the one. Now there's new information every day in your classes, in your schools. Teachers start new units. What a prerequisite is what would be needed by you to help you to be able to learn new information better. What would be helpful for teachers to do for you? They're going to introduce a new lesson, a new unit to you. What should teachers do? Bless you. What should teachers, could teachers do before they introduce the new unit that would help you learn that unit even deeper? I want you to take a Post-it note. Take another Post-it note. I think you have a second piece of, do you have a second piece of chart paper or big paper on the table? No? All right, so just, all you have to do is, you can just take the Post-it note and we'll turn the chart paper that you have on the table. Can you turn it over? Facilitator number 7, just turn it over. So we're gonna post on that side now. Facilitator 7. All right, prerequisites, identifying prerequisites. All right, so do you remember what you're doing now? So if I could have your attention, please, facilitators, please get everybody's attention. 5, thank you, 17. 4, thank you, 7. Thank you, 3 and 1. We're almost there, and it's almost over. You guys have been so great. So a prerequisite is what the teacher or what you are given before something new is introduced to ensure that you got it. So you got a Post-it note. I want you to write one idea. What would you like to share with teachers? Remember, you're here to share your voice. What would you like to share with teachers in terms of, you know what, if you're going to introduce something new to us, this is what would be real helpful before we start. I know. All right? Write it on the Post-it note. What is it? And slap it right down on the chart paper. What can you tell people with teachers that would be really helpful to you? Prerequisite. Pre means before. Before what's required. Slap it right down there on the paper. What do you want your teachers to know? You say, you know what would be really helpful if you would just do what first? Before the new unit of study. You got 1 minute. We should have at least 10 Post-it notes on there. At least 10 Post-it notes. Facilitators, make sure everybody put one there. Prerequisites. 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 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My hand is up one more time. You know what you're going to do next. It's a round table. Please make sure everybody gets to share with the table what they wrote on what you wrote on your paper, on your Post-it. What's the prerequisite that would help you learn something better? You have 1 minute to go around the table. Go. Make sure everybody gets a chance to go, facilitator. "30 seconds. Make sure everybody, what would be good for them to do before a new unit is introduced so you would get it, so you could connect to it? 15 seconds.
I said put it in the student's language so we can understand it instead of saying it in the teacher language like you said in the conference with the teacher. Saying it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Time is up. Thank you. Thank you over there. That's table 20. I see you, table 50. Wait a second. It's almost everybody. Thank you. All right. So a prerequisite. Pre means before. What's required? So I want you to be able to understand, just like when we were doing the high intellectual performance and doing a metaphor, your brain can be ready for learning based on the ideas that you put on your paper, so you can get to your highest learning. Now, I know I literally have 2 more minutes, and we have 2 more high operational practices, so I will just talk you through them so we can get there. I just want to say this about the prerequisites, though. When we are introduced to new concepts by having them connected to our personal experiences and are provided background knowledge and the opportunity to study skills, did anybody write any of those things down on there? You did? All right, I see lots of hands go up. Then it helps us learn better. All right? Got facilitator 8. 8. We got 2 minutes left. Facilitator 8. Let's hear it for facilitator 8. Okay. Okay, here we go. This high operational practice is called situating learning in the lives of children or students. Meaning, what should be happening in school to help you connect the things that are important to you to the content that you have to learn. I have 3 books, if you notice where it says learn there, they're students working together and they're looking at skills. But if you see the 3 journals, they were all written by Newark students from Hawthorne Middle School. Anybody here from Hawthorne? Okay, there. All right, Hawthorne. These were written by Hawthorne students 5 years ago, though. But look at the first one. It says, go put your strengths out there. Remember, it's saying, how can we get us, students, to be able to connect what we have to learn to what's important? They said one is, go put your strengths out there. They wanted to connect to that. The other one is called the Justice Epistles. That's where Hawthorne students said, this is what we'd like to tell the mayor, the governor, the president. It's like, what do we need to see justice happen? That's what they did there. And the last one is, smarter is something you what? Become. You can get smarter and smarter. So with this high operational practice, it's all about connecting there. So we don't have time to do that, but the things that I want to show you that kids are doing around the world to connect to their personal lives and learn in school, you can see from these pictures. So connecting to the lives of students, whether it's about slavery, whether it's about wearing hijabs, whether it's really about looking at the climate, that's another idea. And when we perform better, when we connect, and so that was the last one, situating learning in the lives of kids. Facilitator 8, I think we did that twice. That's what you were trying to tell me, right? All right, now I'm gonna end with this one. This one is called what? Anybody know what the last one is called? Amplifying students' voice. That is why you are here today. You are here to have your voice amplified. I want to show you what happened. The picture on the left is at Hawthorne Middle School again. This is where students and teachers went to a professional training together every month. You know how teachers go to PD, professional development? Students were going with the teachers to learn about learning together. Same thing in the upper right, but that's in Connecticut. On the lower right, it's Connecticut. What's the point? Can't students and teachers learn together? Not only they can learn together, they can teach together. You are the answer. We need to hear your voice. These are the high operational practices. You know how we started this morning by saying, I am gifted? We're going to do the same thing, except this time you're not going to say, I am gifted. You are going to say, I am the solution. Now, we had a dress rehearsal. This time we're starting at table 25, and we are going backwards. Are you ready, 25? Oh, he's here? Oh, okay. Well, should I not have them do it? Should I not have them do it? He can come up. All right, we have to go really quick because I didn't know the mayor is here. That's right, I am so honored that your mayor is here. I didn't know you were here. Okay, can you you know what? We'll just do it all together. I am the solution. 1, 2, 3. I am the solution. All right, you guys have been great. There we go. I didn't know he was there. Thank you for your brilliance. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
All right. Wait. So Dr. Jackson has spent the whole morning affirming all of us, right? So I want us all to take a moment and stand up and give Dr. Jackson some affirmation for dropping all that knowledge. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Wonderful. So the superintendent opened this morning. He told you how important this day is and how many people are working hard to make sure that you have the things that you need and that your voice is heard. And we have with us today someone who is no exception to this conversation and who is one of the biggest advocates that all of you have in this city, our mayor, Ras Baraka, and he's going to share a few thoughts with you. You can keep clapping for him. Clap him all the way up on the stage. That's right.
Good afternoon. So it's great to be here this afternoon. Glad to be able to listen to Dr. Jackson. She is a hero of mine, and the work that she does in this field is awesome. Give her another round of applause, y'all. Let me tell you, you guys look incredible. You're outstanding, and the engagement level was so high. You broke down all of the narratives, the negative narratives that people have about Newark kids and your inability to engage, and how is this woman going to engage 200, 300 kids. She's done an awesome job, but because the level that you have speaks volumes to what's in store in the city of Newark. This morning, I was in a meeting with the governor of the state of New Jersey and probably the top corporations in this city and around the city, their CEOs, talking about Newark. And one of the things they said is that we're far off from where we had a fight a while ago, a couple of years ago. Well, maybe about a decade ago, about renaming Newark Airport to Liberty International Airport, right? About what people felt about Newark then, almost embarrassed that we want to take the name Newark off of the airport and name it Liberty International. And from that time to today, where everybody is feeling like Newark is the place to be, where we just opened up opportunity in the airport for Newark businesses, for Newark residents, for us to be able to have messaging in there about how to come to Newark. Not when you come to Newark, you go to New York, but come to Newark. And while I'm raising this to you is because the conversation was about what brings businesses to the city of Newark. Now, you would be shocked of the things that they think about. A lot of us think they're thinking about crime, they're thinking about technology, they're thinking about transportation infrastructure, they're thinking about all these things. But the number one thing that folks think about is talent. That's what they said, talent. That's the number one thing, talent. And talent is you. You are the talent. That's what they're trying to, we will come to this city, we will come to this area if you have a pipeline of talent, if you have young people that are going to college and that are graduating from college and are getting advanced degrees and are able to come into our corporations, come into our businesses and begin to innovate and create and develop opportunities for the business, for the company. Talent, that's what they're looking for, right? And so when we made it to the end of Amazon on a discussion that they've had around the country about what city they want to go to, the number one thing they talked about too was talent. How are our high schools doing? How are the universities doing? How are the young people coming out of these universities? Are they prepared? Are they eager? Are they creative? Are they diverse? Are they ready? If they had a chance to come into this room today and see all of you, the many different complexions, the many different languages, how engaged and brilliant you are, not only we got Amazon, we got a bunch of other companies at the same time. But even more important than that, without Amazon, without the companies, without all the other things that come to our city, the city is only going to improve if you make it better, right? And so we need you to be engaged. We need your voice. We need you to not just be in these rooms, but we need you to be in every room that's available in this city. Every institution that stands up in this city, we need you to be in those rooms, in the boardrooms, in the office rooms, creating your own companies, your own businesses, pushing this city, this state to be more equitable, to be more fair, to include all of us, to be more democratic. We need your voice as loud as it could be, as courageous as it can be, as creative and as imaginative as it can be. We need that here, and this is the beginning of that right here in this room. So I applaud the folks who put this together. You're listening to Dr. Jackson. That's the beginning, right? There are a lot of folks that you need to listen to, hear, understand, but then take the courage that you have, right, and begin to transform what you see. And I'm going to walk away, but, in City Hall, we got a lot of smart people, right? But I don't need smart people. Got a lot of brilliant people. There's a lot of folks that go to college, they read 3 or 4 books. They're very smart, right? So not only I don't just need smart people, I need courageous people, right? You have to be smart and courageous. The Wright brothers built the plane, but they also had the courage to fly it. So we don't just need you to imagine a new city, a new state, a new country, a new world. We actually need you to create it and make it happen. Have the courage to fall down, to take those risks, to make things different, to change, starting with yourself. So God bless y'all. Have an incredible, incredible day. Thank you for letting me come talk to you this afternoon. I love y'all. Y'all made my day.